Extras from How It Feels to Play Sniper in Team Fortress 2. Behind the Scenes Edition by LazyPurple.
Hey everyone, Lazy here, and this is going to be a more casual video. I had to play a lot of Sniper to get everything I needed for my last video, so I'm kind of overflowing with good clips here. I thought it would be fun to stuff all of them into one big video and do some kind of director's commentary. Oh, and real quick, I'm shooting for 1 million subscribers by September 2020, so if you've been holding off on subscribing, I'd really appreciate that you did. Now, this clip actually almost made it into How It Feels to Play Sniper. In fact, here's the rough cut that I had. When you're hitting all your shots as Sniper, it's like you can't die. It would take like 2 pyros coming right at me. Oh no! Honestly. And if we rewind even further, the transition into that clip was actually a very silly Vsauce reference. If you play Sniper, you will die. But what if you didn't? Every now and then, what really makes this clip golden is that as they chase me, I decide that I'm gonna go out with a bang. I'm dead, dude. I'm fucking dead. Out the window! Yes!
Wow! The disrespect on that spy.
Oh my god! But the clip was just too long, and also at this point I realized that the script was just too high energy, you know? Like it was gonna go from this punchline almost immediately into the Megalovania bit, and then right before this was actually the 3 kills upward montage, and it was just too much at once. Once I came to this realization, I had to make the tough call to cut out this bit, replace it with the bit about easy Sniper games, and then I had to flip around the order of these so that Megalovania happens way before this montage, and it just needed to be done for the tempo of the video, but it was it took me a while to figure it out and wasted time, you know. It happens. And just to be clear, I spent at least 4 hours just debating whether or not to put this part in the video. Like I was asking people left, right, center, and I even made a Twitter poll for it. Whew, am I glad you guys didn't tear me apart for this one. Anyway,
I thought it was great. I thought it was really creative, and I liked it. I liked that it made the final cut.
This behind-the-scenes video was all about how wrangling Source Filmmaker was the biggest challenge in making the Engineer video. Some of you have asked for a sequel to this, but despite the occasional SFM glitch, epilepsy warning, you good? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Oh the year is 20XX. The sun is a strobe light. Life is now a never-ending rave. This is the canonical explanation for where all the rave lights are coming from in this scene. But you already knew that, right?
Despite the occasional glitch, SFM actually behaved more often this time. The biggest challenge with the Sniper video was actually the script. In fact, this video went through 6 script rewrites. I kept struggling to communicate this concept that Sniper's interaction with other players boils down to shooting them before they even see you, or dying to people because you didn't see them. I was originally gonna get all ironically philosophical about it, like, what does it really mean to play Sniper? But I eventually threw that idea out. Here's my first note of the concept from a document dating November 21st, 4 months before the video released. What looks monotonous on the outside, every sniper just shooting sniper rifles, is actually betraying the complexity of the crazy internal story of playing Sniper. Maybe show a funny inside the mind. Show nightmares of not being able to hit a dancing medic laughing at me. It would take months of refining the script before I arrived on this combination of SFM scenes about overcoming bad habits and how isolated Sniper can feel. This upward animation actually originally occurred on Badlands because I was going to turn the camera around and show that while every other class is having some kind of one-on-one interaction, Sniper is just all alone trying his best to hit his shots. Eventually, it would zoom out to emphasize how irrelevant he was, and then, well...
We have lost the control point.
This took a couple days to make, but ended up getting completely cut because it's just too confusing. Like, what are your eyes supposed to follow here? Heavy gets trick stabbed, then Pyro
I think the Mario Sunshine theme goes really hard here.
reflects a rocket, then Medic chases the spy, then Engie puts down a mini-sentry, which a Demo Man destroys, etc. It's just too much.
It's cluttered,
anyway,
right?
Sniper may be defined by his lack of interaction, but there are a select few ways that Sniper actually interacts with the other classes, and one of them is when the enemy knows you're shooting at them. This Heavy gets stuffed and proceeds to press every key on his keyboard at once. And what do you know? It works out for him. Here's an example of me trying to interact with the players on my team. I see this demo sticky trap and decide to use myself as bait for it. I was gonna do this SFM bit where I gave my demo the thumbs up and everything. Hey! Anyway, I successfully
That's what people are talking about with the sticky traps. That makes sense.
The scout, but then end up taking care of him myself. The bit was going to end with us seeing the scout fly forward, there'd be a second of silence, and then boom, the trap goes off way too late. And the last notable way that you can interact with enemies is by surfing their explosives, although this is more of a medic thing than a sniper thing, so that's probably where I'll really talk about it. This soldier really did not enjoy this interaction.
I actually don't know this song.
Some people ask if I write first or collect gameplay first, and the answer is always gameplay first.
Makes sense.
I collect a ton of footage and then keep asking myself, what does this clip demonstrate? This clip demonstrates that if I have the choice between shooting an AFK hatless pyro or a hatted pyro who seems to have a functioning keyboard, I'm probably gonna prioritize the hatted pyro. Prioritizing targets is a real thing for Sniper. Like, of course I'm gonna shoot the medic before the heavy here, but it just didn't seem that important to talk about. You know what? In the interest of me not having to pretend that the ordering of clips in this video makes any sense, here's a list of stuff that didn't make it into the final production. Tunnel vision, every SFM joke I didn't have time for, a accusation montage, stomping casual games, forcing headshots, punishing disrespect, accidental kills, lag, the huntsman, and 180 headshots.
Always.
Woo! Let's attack these one at a time. I think I might have some of the worst tunnel vision ever. See this scout? Oh.
No, I feel it. I tunnel vision super hard in games. It's why I can play games up to a certain point, but like, oh man, I've reached points in raids, whether that's Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, etc., where I need to get the goal done, and I will kitchen sink everything to achieve that specific goal, even if that goal, sure, wins the battle, but inevitably loses the war, right? It deals with the immediate, but doesn't take into account the long term. To which then begets, you know, the conversation of, I mean, have your teammates consider not dying 5-head? I wish they'd consider that, yeah. That'd make things a lot easier.
Of course you do. He's right there. But in the moment, I did not see this guy at all. Even here, I did not notice him. And I know it seems like I'm completely BSing you all. Like, trust me, I didn't see him. In this clip, I knew my team was being pushed back, so I went to this cheeky position thinking I'd be safe. I unscope, and you can already see I'm in trouble, but I did not notice. This time, however, I did notice. This spot actually goes right into the SFM bits. I wanted to make fun of how ridiculous it is that you can even be here. I was gonna suggest a secondary item for a sniper like the gunboats that would just let him float wherever he wants, and honestly, just talking about it, I regret not doing this bit. Here, I was doing really well flanking a sniper when this soldier boy, a rocket, jumps up and scares the hell out of me. So I try to retreat, but this door only opens from the other side. So I was screaming, "Help, Engie, door's stuck!" But that Engie just leaves me, and I realize I'm on my own and as good as dead. Oh,
nice!
That wasn't so hard, was it? This soldier also did not enjoy that interaction. Another one was going to be me explaining how Spy's head hitbox doesn't match his disguises. I was going to be like, don't worry, I see what's really going on here, and then it would show Spy playing RuneScape on his phone or something. Oh god, this next one though. The scout forced me to charge up my shot right
But it was AFKing Vines and Falador. Always.
on his butt. He forced me, okay? There was gonna be a soldier like, Sniper, you've been fully charged for 15 seconds. And Sniper was gonna be like, oh yeah, mate, that's good. Oh my, let's move on. I have the easiest shot in the world on this Brass Beast Heavy, but he makes the 500 IQ play and aims upwards.
Wow.
He puts his hand in front of his face. It was gonna zoom in and he would be like, oh, I outsmart the bullet. This next Brass Beast Heavy will do us the favor of transitioning into all the unused accusations. He's out in the open, I kill him, seems pretty normal to me, but he disagrees.
How? 3 headshots in a row.
When you try your best, but you don't succeed.
How?
Now, people, it's good to be suspicious sometimes and call out hackers, but man, some of you call hacks way too soon. There was this one guy that got super upset because I was out sniping him, even though he was trying to set.
Animal Crossing theme goes really hard here. No, I agree with this. There are, and I've played in lobbies in general where people just like, they're super quick on the accusations. It is possible for people to be better than you. Don't get me wrong. Like, it is possible. Let's make sure we're narrowing down options before jumping to the accusation. Because I mean, I guess it's also game dependent too. Like Destiny 2, Trials of Osiris. Oh man, that is There's a reason I haven't gone flawless. One, because people are just better than me. I don't really play PvP. I'd much prefer raids. The other is just, no, I hear that trials, the higher up you go, especially the nearer to flawless you get, either you're going to run into paid carries or you're going to run into people who are just definitely doing some stuff. Let's put it that way. And I'm not down for that. It's okay to be good. It's okay to be bad. Let's just play the game. I can't get behind the mentality of, it's an online FPS, bro. Just chill. Just turn off the bots. It's fine. It's okay to suck.
Can scope me. It's way too long of a clip though, so I'll probably upload it to my secondary channel soon. Link in the description. LazyPurple. I am proud to admit though that I was kicked from a server one time for cheating. It was actually the first time I used the Bizarre Bargain. I was just destroying their heavies, which brings us into stomping casual players. I get this demo, accidentally headshot this spy, and then after getting one shot on this heavy, he just gives up.
Yeah, nope, he's out. Nope. Just accepts his fate. Disgusting.
Rough about Sniper is that there's really no way to go easy on people. Like with Soldier, you can just switch to market gardening if the teams are really unbalanced, but what am I gonna do with Sniper? Intentionally go for body shots? Oh, I'm sure people would love that. I just feel disgusting when I stomp a casual game like this, but I don't know what else to do.
I mean, realistically though, so here's what you do, and this is the problem I think that Final Fantasy XIV is running into, because for those that don't know, Final Fantasy XIV is in its Dawn Trail expansion as of right now. The fights have gotten harder, whether it's Howling Blade, whether it's Brute Abominator, whether it's 7.2's Trial, like the fights have gotten harder. And the problem that we're running into is because the game is so hard balanced to queue earlier content, because effectively 10 plus years of content, right? Like, it's like new players in World of Warcraft have, and I don't know how WoW works. I'm trying to find a good like comparison. Like, you have to run through Burning Crusade, you have to run through Wrath of the Lich King, right? For all intents and purposes, some storyline content if you start fresh, right? Like, so if you're trying to run content and you're having to run it with other players in queue, a lot of them would be running, say, TBC content or, say, like Burning Crusade content. I'm sure there's someone who would be able to explain this in WoW terminology far better than I can. So the problem we're running into is even though we have people who are level cap max, they're 100, they don't know how to play the game. And that's a problem. I myself don't know how to heal Howling Blade as White Mage, which I'm a very aggressive White Mage, and did the last raid series with Wicked Thunder just fine. It comes down to, is it the game's fault? Is it bad match? Sure, I guess there's some players who could play the game better and not eat as many hits, right? 6 players getting hit by a totem sucks and them all eating a Dorito. But and how this all relates to TF2, that's where you just have to quote unquote get good, where you have to play the game, where you have to ingratiate yourself in the game, where you have to fail over and over and over again. You're gonna round so many corners and get hit with the sticky demo bombs so many times until you stop doing it, right? You're going to try to do things as the heavy that you don't do 200 hours from now because you learn over time, right? Even Final Fantasy 14, I am when I'm tanking, because I main tank a lot, I need to stay still, because I know if I move too much, it's going to throw the entire team off. I didn't understand that 200 hours ago, right? It's stuff you gain over time. So I get that it's casual, but that's inherently the nature of casual, though, right? Halo 3, Halo Reach, quick queue, right? Just casual queue, right? You didn't know if you were going to run into the 5 or the 6 stack who was hard queuing. You didn't know if the teams were going to be absolutely unbalanced. You ran into those games which were absolutely balanced. You had 2 gods, one on each team, and everyone else just gave their all, and it was a very close match. That's the nature of casuals, right? It's not really supposed to rely on an MMR, which Halo Infinite subsequently threw to the wayside. That's another conversation entirely. So I think at a certain point, right, like there are people like me who acknowledge I have a certain skill level, and there will be a point where I am okay, I am mediocre at games, but I can get better. But there's an actual exponential increase in the time and attention I need to spend on something to increase it to that level. If you're tired of snipers hard stomping and casuals, have you considered learning how Sniper plays, so you know how Sniper plays, so you can counter Sniper? Food for thought.
God forbid, you want to terrorize casual players as well. Of course, you need the basics of lowering your sensitivity, getting a bigger mouse pad, and disabling mouse acceleration. But just as important is that you have to push yourself to improve. What I mean by that is forcing yourself to go for headshots all the time. Like, even if they're gonna die to fall damage or something, just go for it. At one point, I thought to myself, why melee people when I can just headshot them?
Yeah.
And I was gonna do a bit making fun of this sniper that goes for his melee weapon in our 1v1. Like he was gonna try and get at me, but my barrel would just be in the way. And lastly, I was considering a bit where I would joke that this headshot here was just a complicated backstab. Like, who needs to play spy when you can just hit point-blank headshots right behind people?
Yeah.
It's practically the same thing.
Pretty much.
Just to be clear though, this forcing headshots mindset is only for improving. Like in this clip, the enemy sniper was better than me, so I did this disgustingly sneaky, fully charged body shot on him. Sometimes you just gotta do him dirty. One of the first things you learn in competitive TF2 is that it's not worth it to challenge the enemy sniper. In one of the first drafts of the script, I was gonna joke about multiverse theory and how if you challenge a sniper, sure, there's a universe where he straight up misses you, but you really don't want to find out that you're in the universe where he doesn't. Anyway, some people didn't get the memo and will insist on shooting flare guns at you across the map. It feels fantastic to punish this disrespectful act of hubris. Medics do it too. Look how wide this medic peeks me just for a crossbow hit. Was it worth it, man? Was it worth it? Oh shit, cut to the next clip. Quick, quick, quick. I don't know why they even try. I mean, no medic has ever killed me like that. That would be so embarrassing. Now, let us pay our respects to everyone I've ever accidentally killed.
Oh, that's fine. Yikes.
For some reason, it's almost always a medic. Here, I was actually going for their sniper, but got the medic and then died to the sniper. Again, here, I'm going for the sniper and oops, got the medic, died to the sniper. But you'll never guess what happens this time. I go for the sniper and there goes your medic. Why does this keep happening?
It's got to be how the medics are positioning. It depends if this is casual or ranked. I'm assuming this is casual, right? I'm assuming there's going to be... I'm going to use the term advanced movement tech, but I mean that in a... You know when a player has played a game for a long enough period of time because they know how to move. See my argument about tanking in Final Fantasy 14, right? You look at how Shenpai is very... doesn't move, right? And then you have, someone like me who still moves around a lot, but I know what I need to do, right? Versus someone who's just learning how to tank, and they're moving left and right. They're moving all over the screen. Your melee DPS are trying to get off their positionals, right? Like, and I'm sure even in Call of Duty, I'm sure there's going to be an insert game here. I welcome examples from whatever game you can think of. There's going to be examples across many different games that are going to illustrate this point, where a player has played a game for a long enough period of time because of how they move. And I wonder if this is because it's just the medics lacking the proper movement understanding. But call that a theory. I would have to sink my teeth into playing medic for a little bit.
Am I subconsciously aiming at the medics or something? Maybe. Let me ask you something. Have you ever hit a headshot and been like, I don't know about that one, chief?
Yeah.
Well, I have some good evidence between several clips that TF2's interpolation has a bad habit of rewinding hitboxes. Shooting where this Paro's head used to be results in a headshot.
Yikes.
This theory also explains why some headshots become body shots as well.
So I'm noticing that he's not charging up the bar all the way in a lot of these shots. It makes me wonder what the actual threshold for sniper is. I'm assuming you want to fully charge, right? That's going to be the optimal, like the most damage, right? I shouldn't say optimal. It's going to be the most damage. But what's the optimal threshold? It almost looks like, what, half, 3/4, somewhere in there? I don't know how the bar relates to damage. I totally forgot to bring it up last video.
Take the shot here, but since Soldier's body was there just a second ago, it registers as a body shot. Don't start using this as an excuse, though, because it usually favors the sniper. I mean... to be honest, this one is completely beyond explanation. Rewinding the hitbox doesn't explain a thing.
What the fuck is that?
Maybe I'm completely wrong about all of this.
Yikes.
I was gonna do a bit where my sniper would be distraught over all these clips and someone would be like, what's up, man? And I'd be like, what if I've never actually headshot anybody? What if none of this is real, man? Now, some people complains that I didn't talk about the Huntsman. Look, let me show you the only Huntsman clip you will ever need to see.
Is that because this object looks like it might have some type of penetration feature? I'm assuming it's the case like Dead Space 2, right? How you can TK impale necromorphs. How sometimes they can have really janky movements. I don't know how the Huntsman works. At face value, it looks like it is obviously a bow. Projectile hits and it pins it to the ground, therefore causing weird physics ragdoll interaction. Maybe? I'd be very curious on the technical explanation of that. This would be something I would use, definitely, because I'm a shitter. Disgusting.
I stared at his ragdoll for so long that he actually came around again. I put another arrow straight in his head, but apparently that's not good enough anymore. How is this not directly in his giant head? If you ask me, nothing shows off how insanely powerful Sniper is than a good old 180 headshot. In this clip, I was at 22 health, so I decided to retreat. But hey, on the way out, I might as well 180 delete someone. Is there anything more satisfying than 180 deleting someone? I don't think so. Bonus points if it's in the middle of a conga. And in this last random clip, I was on a super duper 14 headshot spree when this crazy duo Ubers in just to kill me. I even got lucky enough to crit melee him. I guess they figured out who I was, because when I asked about it, they responded,
"Make another SFM and go away, dweeb."
Oh, nice. Okay.
Literally, put the fries in the bag moment. Oof.
It's like that then. Oh, okay. Well, how about you have one of these and one of these? You can imagine how good that felt. Anyway, I think I've bombarded you all with enough random clips. But you know what else is random? Oh, I think you know.
Flawless.
Oh my god. Hey, I'm happy to announce that I have a second t-shirt for sale now. There will be a link in the description if you don't already see it below the video. I'd like to give my patrons an extra special thanks this time around because they were super understanding whenever I told them about one of the setbacks mentioned in this video. Thanks to Keegan Henderson, Seokeo, Arrow Sky, Trophy Waifu, Filth, Zeke, Waffle God of Puns, Bite My ASC, Brandon Wendling, JP, Jared Goodroad, Zachary Born King, Matting, O Snake Cummings, Torgren Highland, and DDJ Sonic 1991.
I love this. Sorry, I yapped your ear off about tanking for a bit. I know it's definitely a different thing compared to what we're reacting to, right? Reacting to Team Fortress. I tried to keep it relevant. I've also been trying to quash my segments down. Not that I'm not trying to be transformative or have discussions, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm not rambling on too long, as that is definitely one of the weaknesses and shortcomings that I do have. But I absolutely love this. This was awesome to watch. I love seeing the behind the scenes, hearing some of the clips that didn't quite make it out to the actual release. And I definitely see why people have recommended these. But thank you everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, LazyPurple, for amazing content. Very much excited to get into TF2 whenever my sleep schedule actually gets on track, which is a consistent issue, I assure you. Taking steps to mitigate that. That'll go check out the original video, especially if you have not, and I will see you all in the next one.